The ability to gain control over your own emotional state is a position for your consciousness to achieve pragmatism, be critically analytical, unbiased, and gain the opportunity to reflect on and make concise decisions. Conversely, being controlled by your emotions takes away your critical thinking, sways you to the influence and emotional states external from you. This means your end destination will always be different to your start. A change in direction towards your intended destination is an uncontrollable power, ignorant to the recognition of your needs, desires, ambitions, and motivations. And because of that ignorance, you are at the whims of probability, a gamble with destiny itself that may or may not have your best interest on its side. But one thing is for certain, and that is, the route is oblivious to your existence. This is customarily followed by anger at the source or the universe itself, and leads to a victimhood state where the said person uses the infamous terms, "why me?" That does not mean it is a bad thing or that you should altogether throw away your emotions and become unemotional or monochrome. But for most people who do not want external influences dictating their general level of happiness, they will want to create principles to guide them along the life and become aware and considerate as well as appreciative of their past, present, and future experiences. By not allowing past experiences to impact your present or future state, you can guarantee that the path you take is yours and not influenced by contaminants that should not be there. A purified path is a path to self-realization, a path that is yours and no one else's. How many people do you know that are original, that have developed their own true beliefs instead of being given them? Critically analyzed their influences and understood their roots. That person is truly free in who they are and what they want to achieve in their life purpose, without needing another lifetime in the metaphorical as well as spiritual sense. Being free from the influence of the common global or cultural programming affords you the opportunity to learn and understand it, as there is no escape from it. The recognition of this programming is seen throughout the people around us. Once we have understood what it is that is different for us compared to the average person, it is then we can start to understand the common fears, pains, and sufferings the world seems to have in common. Whether we like it or not, we are cogs in the machine, and for a cog to realize its value and become self-aware, it creates a stop in the system and halts the engine, because each cog works in unison with the others around it. A cultural enrichment of the sheep factor. It is trendy to follow the crowd, as the crowd is the source of most people's validation. But the people at the top as the influencers, or the people who start and spread the trends, are the ones who are the cause and salvation of the trends people follow. A trend can develop into its own echo chamber as a movement, which at that point is similar to a cult. This parallel is put out there in the open, but it is only until you critically analyze and evaluate the holes in the trend will you start to see the seams come undone. Only from the outside does a person not understand or recognize the value of a trend. But once a trend has taken place, the collective influence tugs on our need for community to stimulate our need to belong, after which a confirmation bias places an investment in our decisions and creates a cycle or a machine with others around us to validate our beliefs. We believe we are right, and this provides our brain with the brain chemicals that emotionally feel correct to us. But in reality, this is simply hijacking our minds, similar to why junk food tastes so great to us. Using this junk food analogy, we can then transcribe the same principles into emotions a person may feel or experience day to day. Some emotions feel great, while others don't feel as good or even feel bad. But what most of us miss is the fact that the negative emotions can be as addictive, if not more addictive, than positive emotions. We can become blindsided by this similarly by creating a confirmation bias into reaching positive or negative emotional states to attach our beliefs onto. By doing this, our limited focus tunnel visions what is available to us in the environment. This limited perception then creates a picture or story that further represents our insight. This is also known as the law of attraction, where what you think of is what you see more of and what comes more to you. But in reality, this is simply our brains engaging our awareness to your selective focus and providing you information valuable to your immediate environment. When we desire something, we use our brains to filter out less significant information and try to pick up on information that will help us towards our goals. This is an integral target. But similarly, The conditions coming from an external source which has an impact on us emotionally makes our active focus detect and phase out certain information. Understanding and recognizing emotional triggers, as well as certain emotions you may experience, helps you better understand why those emotions have an impact on you. If you take the time to understand emotions and triggers, you will provide yourself the chance to evaluate whether what you experience should have value within your emotional world. As a child eating an ice cream cone, we derive great pleasure and satisfaction, but if that ice cream cone was to drop by accident on the floor, we will experience such a real negative emotion that it brings us to tears. As an adult, we simply go through the same experience, but understanding our emotions, we recognize and evaluate the situation that has transpired, after which we can fix or solve the problem by getting another ice cream. The difference between the child and the adult is the child is more focused towards the emotions, whereas the adult recognizes that although the reality and emotions are real, the ability to solve issues puts a fork in the road with a new alternative reality, and this is the power of controlling your emotions. It is a vision you provide yourself to use logic to help us understand our journey. Although a seed may sprout out of the soil to grow a tree, it is only when the tree has properly matured does it bear fruits. Similarly, once we have gained the full awareness, do we respectively have the power to make the decisions based on a full comprehension of the conditions we may be experiencing.